Hey guys, my name is Lindsay Mason, and I chose to answer question number one. So after reading the article, Market Disorder in the Field of Sign Language Interpreting and the Implications for Professionalism, I found out some really great information. The article was just amazing, so I really enjoyed reading it. So some characteristics of profession that I found just doing some research were responsibility, accountability, clients rather than customers, direct working relationships based on specialized knowledge, and ethics, which involves a confidential relationship between a practitioner and a client or an employer. So all the rest were characteristics that were already listed in the article that are evident in ASL English interpreting, which includes systematic theory, authority, credentials, induction, code of ethics, compensation, continuing professional development, community sanction, and culture. So, so the next question, select two characteristics to illustrate them further by offering specific examples of how they are manifested in our field. So when I was reviewing the article before I even read the whole, all the details, I already knew I wanted to focus on professional development and culture. And then after reading it, it turns out that those are the two most evident traits in the sign language interpreting field. So I thought that was pretty cool. So first, continuing professional development. So according to the article, it's defined as a system of ongoing availability and extent of participation in learning events that promote acquisition of contemporary knowledge and skills and application of current best practices and the availability of sponsorship for qualified applicants. So I did want to research this a little bit more since I really value professional development classes. My school district actually offers professional development classes and trainings a couple times a month in the evenings, and also 3 to 4 full days where we don't have students throughout the school year of professional development classes. They aren't all related to interpreting, but they do have specific ones related to interpreting. And actually, I received an email that the next interpreting training is April 12th, and it's a skills interpreting class. So I'm really excited about that. And additional to that, one of my service projects is working with a deaf choir at an elementary school in another school district, and they have invited me to their professional development interpreting skills class. So another school district, so I can go to that one as well, and that's March 22nd, I think. So that's really awesome that my school district does that, and not only the class is free, but you also get paid for them. And then the first 3 weeks of summer, it's called Summer Institute, and that's the same kind of thing. We can sign up for classes for professional development and get paid for it. So I'm planning on doing that as well before our summer semester starts. So the only challenge currently with this trait is having enough training that will further advancement in the field for more experienced practitioners and interpreters. So we have, or I guess they have many entry level trainings, but just finding those just specialized trainings for more experienced interpreters is the one challenge currently. The degree of emergence is high for this characteristic, and it also gets awarded around $1.5 million annually by RSA to support those trainings. So that's pretty cool. The next characteristics is the code of ethics, and related to this article, the definition is the public statement regarding the service mission of the profession. So I chose to study this one for many reasons. So after doing some research on different characteristics, I noticed this one was actually listed in a lot of the different websites and information that I found. So I knew it was pretty important. Also, this trait came up when I had my interview with a deaf individual and he has stated that one of the only challenges he has right now is with interpreters keeping information confidential and breaking the privacy policy. Um, so that's just something I wanted to focus on since it is a challenge right here in my community. So also the code of ethics has been prevalent in the field of sign language interpreting since early inception. Some other components, other than confidentiality and privacy policy, include um, right to equivalent messages that are not skewed, the right to language choice, and the right to have communication access. Um, so one of the only issues with this characteristic is holding people accountable that are not credentialed but still working as interpreters. It's still rated high on the degree of emergence because the code is publicly recognized still. So like I said, I hope this area of interpreting can improve, especially since I know it's a real challenge in my community. So, and I wanted to add one more trait that I thought was really important really quickly. So according to the article, culture is the third one that I wanted to discuss. It's defined as the nature of community within the profession as evidence in the formal and informal networks of practitioners designed to promote and perpetuate a shared mission. So I wanted to research this characteristics because I know that the two interpreters that I interviewed um, both listed cultural mediator and cultural mediation as their characteristics of roles of an interpreter. So I thought that was really interesting. And there are two different interpreters that I know from two different one's in the educational and one's just a freelance interpreter. So at both interviews, they both mentioned it. So I thought that was significant. So I wanted to add this one. Um, so the degree of emergence is high for this characteristic culture, but it's high other than K through 12 interpreters. Um, Also, I know that culture plays a big role since a couple of my previous classes um, related to culture. I realized that culture does play a tremendous role in this profession. So I thought that was pretty important. So that is all, and thanks for listening.